We respectfully request the Sangha great virtues for the sake of this assembly and all living beings. Please turn the wonderful Dharma wheel to teach and guide us how to end birth and death, leave suffering and attain bliss, and quickly realize non-birth. Cung thính đại đức tặng thinh, vì thứ pháp hội cấp nhật thiết chúng sanh. Thịnh duyên diệu pháp luân giao đạo ngã môn, như há liêu sanh thoát tư ly khổ đạc lạc, tốc chứng vô sanh. Homage to the Blessed, Noble, and Perfectly Enlightened One. Nam mô Sananto Suchedo Ye Olahudi San Miao San Puto Ye. Nam mô Tát Đắc Tha Tu Ya Đa Ya La De Tam Miệu Tam Bồ Đà Toa. The unsurpassed, profound, subtle, and wonderful Dharma, 100,000 million aeons is difficult to encounter. Now that I am able to see and hear, I will receive and maintain it. I vow to fathom the thus come one's true and actual principles. Wu shang sheng sheng wei miao fa bai jian wan jie nan zao yu. Wo jin jie wen de shou ci, yuan jie ru lai che shu yi. O Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, Great Master Qingliang, Great Master YongHua, all good monks and nuns, and all good no advisors of Emitofuo. 诸佛菩萨、精良大士、师父上人、各位主持人、各位善知识、弥陀佛。Chư Phật Bồ Tát, kính thưa Thanh Lương Đại sư Hòa Thượng Tiến Hóa, quý thầy cô và quý vị thiện sư Thích Ca Di Đà Phật. Hello everyone, today is the 8th of September 2024. We're here at Go Forest to continue discussing the first chapter, the Avatamsaka Sutra. Thank you for joining us. We are on slide 706, towards the end, the verses that were spoken by the celestial kings in the second desire heaven. Okay? Desire heaven, yeah. Okay. So it's near the end of it. So it's kind of interesting when you look at these celestial kings. They're rulers over these heavens in each world, and see we went from the high level heavens to lower level heavens. You see how the kind of dharmas they're practicing and what they're doing right now shows the level. Are indicators of the level of sophistication and skill sets. Okay, sutra text: all peaceful, happy events in the world arise because of the Buddha.
世间所有安乐事，一切皆由佛出生。
Okay, commentary slide 707. World here, we very fortunate because Master YongHua have a very extensive explanation in the sutra. He's probably one of the rare patriarchs who decided to teach the sutra to my generation. So it tells you that the kinds of potential or level my second generation was for him to speak this sutra. The prior patriarchs, I can't think of any sutra, any patriarch who spoke the sutra in a recent history. Okay, Great Master Xu Yun certainly would not dare touch this. It is way too much for him. Even the patriarchs before that, I know that because I was looking for a lot of texts. When I was studying on my own, I studied Master Hsuan Hua extensively, and then I decided to diversify. I started looking at the other patriarchs. I was look at everyone, Japanese, whatever. Where it turns out the Chinese patriarchs are the most profound teaching. So I looked into there are many patriarchs, and very few. I can't think of anyone who would explain this sutra as extensively as Master Hsuan Hua, or anyone who would be able to explain the Shrangmama Sutra in great details like Master Hsuan Hua. Okay, and so that's why we indeed are very blessed that we're able to do that. That's why I'm not afraid to let you know that this is one of the best works Master Hsuan Hua has, and we are studying his teachings as well, because it's a challenge for you as well. You should all feel free to study some of the patriarchs and see if you can understand them and see if you can extend the teachings. Okay, each generation should try to add more to the Mahayana treasury in the world. Okay, and so here, Master Hsuan Hua's world here, Shu Jian, is actually includes both human and heavenly realms. So in the heavens, of course, they have a very happy life, An Le Shi. Okay, so it's actually is referring the peace. An here is peace, is security. The reason that the peaceful things happen in the world, and also Le is pleasurable or joyful or blissful, not just happy alone. It's all those things, all the peace, safety, security happenings in the world, as well as Le, peace, security, and so forth, is from An. Le here in Chinese also means happy, blissful, pleasurable, joyful, all those things. So they arise because of the Buddha. Okay? And how did it happen? Master Hsuan Hua is very insightful. He says, all the good things that happen in our lives, okay, in the world, meaning in the human realm, heavenly realm, meaning applies to us as well as others. But certainly they're not doing just for us. Okay? We're too small. It's because they arise, they arise from the Buddha. Chinese Chu Sheng here is not just arisal, okay? But it also means because the Buddha's birth. And this is why I encourage you to learn Chinese, okay? And I would even wouldn't mind if you skip Sanskrit, because Chinese Buddhism is so fascinating, so profound. I think if you spend your entire life learning from a Chinese Tripitaka, Chinese teachings, the Chinese patriarchs, would be a tremendous accomplishment. It would be impossible for you to do. Okay. So anyway, so actually, from the Chinese text here, they decided, my masters decided to explain it as the Buddha made it happen, Okay? But actually, the Chinese is much more precise in my mind. It says here, they happen because the Buddha's birth into our world. Okay? So the Buddha went through a lot of hassles to be born into our world and go through a lot of pain and suffering for 29 years. And for his first 29 years of his life, he was very, very unhappy. Actually, he suffered a lot more than any of us. And all of us combined, I assure you, our suffering is nowhere near the Buddha's suffering before he became a Buddha. You don't believe me, Sangwuksunim? I don't know. I swear to God, it's the truth. Okay, it is. You don't know. This is the nature of his cultivation. Okay, and so he came to our world, manifested birth in our world. It's not simply manifestation, but also he came to our world to demonstrate to us that he's willing to undergo extreme suffering for what? To attain liberation. So please, don't cry to me and say, I have suffered so much. This is unbearable. I swear to you, okay, that your suffering is nowhere near Master Hsü Yun's suffering, which is nowhere near Master Hsien Hua's suffering, which is nowhere near the Buddha's suffering. I assure you. Even Master Hsien Hua, what he suffered when he was younger, and when he came here and struggled a lot, the first several years, is nowhere near the Buddha's suffering. Okay? So the Buddha, he chose to be born in our world, appear in our world. True Sheng here is birth, not because Buddha's made it happen. And I explain this because I got the tip from Master Hsien Hua. This Master Hsien Hua explanation is that Buddhas, okay, are nourished. They taught us the Buddha Dharma, and therefore he uses us to nourish our peace and bliss. Okay? No, sir. I happen to disagree with this. I feel that the Chinese text is very precise. It says, Buddha went through a lot to be born in our world, to make it happy, to make it peaceful, secure, and blissful. Chinese-speaking people, do you agree or disagree? See, I take a lot of liberties with the language. It's just like a weirdo. I'm not American, but I speak the pale-face language. And I'm not Chinese. I claim to understand, the Chinese Tripitaka more than the Chinese. And so we are a temple oddballs. It's nothing. Even like a kid is jumping on my bowing cushion. It makes it so happy. Go ahead, sir. Do you have a comment? Anyone has a comment? This is what it really means. The Avatamsaka Sutra is very profound. Okay, I don't know why Master Hsien chose to explain these verses this way, but to me, it's very clear from a Chinese. Agree, disagree, Taiwanese person. I need more Chinese people here to challenge me. That's what it says. 世间所有安乐事. Okay, everything that has peaceful and blissful in our world, in our world, all the blissful and peaceful things in our world, including what we're having right now, a Lu Mountain Temple, is from the Buddha's birth, appearance in the world. What for? He came to our world to, number one, demonstrate how to cultivate. Now, his cultivation is much more difficult than our cultivation. For example, our cultivation, we all have a place called a temple to gather and cultivate. Where on a day where it's 103 degrees outside, it's Fahrenheit, inside we are 67, 68. Huh? Nice. I walk outside to go brush my teeth after lunch. Oh, this is like an oven. Yes, sir, Green.
Master, does this mean that there's always something good and peaceful that happens even when something horrible happens? So there was a few days ago there was this school shooting, and then there was another shooting later that day, and I'm trying to think of something that was good about that, but that's where I'm coming from.
So it's a good question. It depends on how how you want to look at it. Okay. From your perspective, from the nature of your question, you said if something bad happens, so I believe, Buddha is a nice person, so he wants to make good things and happy things and blissful and safe things for us. That's natural, right? Very much like a dad will want good things to happen to his children. Okay, that's understandable. But what about the bad things? Okay, where does it come from? Okay. Bad things come from our collective karmic retribution. It's hard this weekend because there's collectively we are supposed to undergo the retribution for losing our tempers, big time. Which is, therefore, you see the suffering right now. It's very, very hard. Okay, I touch my toothbrush is harder than hell. I mean, everything is baked. Okay, there's a lot of suffering. Okay, for us, we're lucky here. But in my house, I try to play it tough so that I can brag to you today. Last night, I refused to turn on the AC so that I can brag today. Big mistake. I couldn't sleep that well. So this morning I woke up to, I don't feel like going to work. Can I stay in bed? You see, so these bad things are actually our retribution. Sometimes it's personal, sometimes it's collective retribution. Okay, but that's the nature of our existence. When we see bad things happen, the uninformed people would say, oh, they blame it on others, they blame it on the heavens, they blame it on men. Okay? They say, why are you that way? You are the cause of my suffering. That's what uninformed people do. Whereas us, since we have a Buddha Dharma, we understand there's a cause and effect. No more than cause and effect. That we know is a retribution, and therefore, if we see something we don't like, we should say, okay, it's my retribution, therefore I should plan more causes for happy things to happen to me and by extension to people close to me. That's the nature of the Buddha Dharma that the Buddha brought to our world. He came, he was born here, he manifested birth in our world to teach us about his wisdom and how to acquire his wisdom and how to better cope with life, okay, with our challenges. Am I answering your question directly or no? Okay, so the first thing is that don't blame others. We have our share of the suffering we are undergoing right now. That's the first direct question. Number two, since we don't like it like most people, then we should know, based on the Buddha's teaching and the training we receive from our patriarchs, what we need to do to reverse the suffering. And beware that when we do that, the people close to us also benefit from our good deeds.
I had another question related to the...
Another question?
It's related to the heat.
We are on a roll, are we?
It's related to, you said, it's the karma because of the heat. It's our anger, collective karma.
Yes.
So when you
extreme anger, not just anger.
Extreme anger.
Somebody has been very, very angry. And I tell you, it's not me. I'm just a victim. And that's why I chose to endure the heat last night. It would not happen again.
Master, is it similar when you have to buy bottled water and because the water's impure and you have to buy purified water, is that similar to retribution?
Water sometimes is good, sometimes is bad. Okay? It's the same. Heat sometimes is good, sometimes, most of the time it's good, sometimes it's pretty bad. Heat is good when we use it to bake turkeys. It's coming up very soon, a couple of months. A lot of people need heat to bake turkeys, and thank God for that. Okay? So you see, in everything, good thing and bad things, Buddhist teaching is that you could look at, it's always good and always bad. Okay? It's always a mixture of good and bad. So this heat here, we know it's from the anger, extreme anger, and therefore I bring it out, I point it out to you so that those you are cultivators, look at yourselves. How much of it did you contribute? Because I tell you, I'm not angry at all. Because when upset, I beat up on someone and I forget about it right away. For you can't beat up on people. That's why you keep on having angry thoughts. I have one angry thought, I act at that, I'm done. I don't blame on someone else, All right. Any other questions? So you see, Buddha chose to come to our world and manifest birth in our world, and so that he can teach us how to cultivate. I was saying, how to cultivate like he did, okay, to become like him. He says, I am a human just like you. I cultivated, okay? Yes, I know that it's very difficult for you to walk the same path as I do, but that's why I send my boys and the patriarchs, my bodhisattvas, to come and teach you how to do it. But you can do it, okay? And because I did it myself, a long time ago, I walked your path too. And so he manifested birth into our world to, number one, teach us how to do it, okay? Because he can do it. And then after he became a Buddha, cultivated how to become a Buddha, then he said, let me give you my wisdom. Okay? And so that's why if we do this wisdom here I'm giving you, you should be able to bring peace, security to this world. That's what it means. No? All right. Next. Supreme and unparalleled is thus come one's meritorious virtue. Floral King enters this place of liberation.
如来功德甚无等，此解脱处华王入。
Taiwanese person, you should feel free to speak up and disagree with my interpretation of the Chinese language. You make me feel like my head is getting bigger. Every time I explain to you in Chinese, the Chinese text, my head gets bigger and bigger. See, I understand more than these Taiwanese people. That's not healthy for me. It's very important. in every day to have pluses and minuses, victories and failure. It makes us humble. There's no such thing as only victories unless you are orange face. Well, wait, I'm Democrat today, right? Like Kamala. Okay, it's not. You need to have a balance, folks, because we need reinforcement. And you need to have good things, victories, and pleasant things happen. Also, we need to have a balance. To balance it with failures and unpleasant things. Okay. All right? There's no such a thing. If you're only fooling yourself, you think that I'm always safe, I'm always peaceful. That's not real. That's not life here. Supreme and unparalleled is the thus come one's meritorious virtue. Okay? So he says, the Buddha, he said, you see, the Buddha came to be born in our world to bring peace and bliss to the world. Okay? And therefore, in order to do that, you don't realize how extremely difficult it is for Buddhas to have done that. And that's why it's called his merit and virtue are supreme and unparalleled. Meaning that none of his disciples, deeds and virtues come even close. What my teacher, my Chinese teacher's merit and virtue is nowhere near Master Shakyamuni Buddha's merit and virtue. That's what he says. Okay, it's supreme. Okay, Sheng, De Sheng, Wu Deng is Sheng here. It's supreme, but actually it surpasses everyone, everything. Wu Deng is that it's better than everyone, and it's incomparable. All right, and so that's what Buddhas do. What they do, whatever they touch, whatever they talk about, is supreme and unparalleled. All right, and that's what this floral king was able to awaken to in order to become a Mahasattva. I'm afraid to tell you that this floral king here, who is a Mahasattva, meaning that you're not, and he is, okay? He didn't practice using 42 hands and eyes, great compassion mantra, great compassion repentance, Pure Land Dharma door. He used it, that's what he practiced, in order to get to his level. See how far we are from his level. So be more humble. We're not that important. We're so incompetent. That's why these Mahasattvas have to come to our world to help us out. And in order to come to our world, they have to practice this Dharma door. We are nothing. Okay? Any questions? But that's why we're nothing. That's why we're able to get close to babies. You think these floral kings, celestial king, will have time to play with babies like we do? We all have our roles, All right, next. If one recalls an iota of the thus come one's meritorious virtue, or produces even one thought of devoted admiration,
若念如来少功德，乃至一念心专养。
Okay, again, it's one of those things where you really should learn Chinese. The Chinese is so beautiful. And the translation to English, the Chinese has like multiple meanings. And you can buy one has multiple meaning, one character has multiple meanings, add one more character, add one more. Because it actually becomes exponential in terms of the range of information that the verses are conveying to it, trying to convey to us. To translate that into one aspect of English, you fall pretty short, unfortunately. Okay? So here, if one recalls an iota of this come one's meritorious virtue. So translation pretty good. Here like shao, gong de. So you look at the merit and virtue of the Buddha, just look at one tiny section, a little bit of the Buddha merit and virtue. Okay? And then, and so the Buddha has boundless merit and virtue. If you only pick one tiny bit of it, of this Buddha's merit and virtue, and then look at that one thing right there, that tiny bit about the size of the pin, okay, the head of a pin, and from that you produce even one thought of, chuan yang. When your mind single-mindedly admires it. Okay? It's not devoted admiration. Okay? Devoted is too American. Okay? And that this refers to the fact here, here's what happens. The Buddha's merit and virtue is unparalleled, remember? Okay? And it's infinite, it's so boundless. And you should say, don't worry about, because Mahayana teaching is just so vast. The Buddha's deeds are too vast. It's no point in worrying about trying to understand them all. And this is the spirit of Mahayana, by the way. We don't need you to look at the whole thing. We only want you to look at one thing, one tiny thing. Okay? A tiny thing about the size of the head of a pin. And that of the Buddha's merit and virtue. You look at that alone, okay? Malaya, are you paying attention, honey? Yeah, I can see you. See that? You look at only that bit of a thing, okay? And so, okay? So when you concentrate on just looking at it, don't try to look too much, okay? Look. And then you see Malaya's head. Yeah, don't move, honey. No, you move, I can't see you too well. You do that, okay? Okay, and you give rise to, wow, yang here is admiration, is a wow kind of thought. You say, wow, this is special. You know, like when you look at the baby girl there, wow, she's cute, that kind of thing, okay? Then, that's what it means. You just, that pure thought, chuan yang here is not about devoted, it's about, and that moment right there, when you say, wow, that very moment, you say, wow, it is so beautiful. Then the terrors of all evil past will forever be dispelled. Eyes of wisdom awakens profoundly thus.
诸恶道不悉永除，智眼于此能生悟。
Okay. Then the evil path. Evil path. What are evil paths? Evil paths are, it refers to the, in general, 3 types of destinies you're going to go to after you die, and many relatives, by the way. I don't want to make you sad, but most of our relatives they would fall, and they fell, and they will fall to the evil paths, which of hells, ghosts, hungry ghosts, not just ghosts, hungry ghosts, and animals. You wouldn't believe how many of our relatives are there in the evil paths. And when they're there, okay, it's extremely, extremely frightening when you're there. And in particular, when you fall to the hells, you fall the hungry ghosts. The hells, you probably don't really have an idea, but for you just to give a feeling of a hungry ghost, that pain and suffering of hunger and thirst is so unbearable that the sufferings that you will endure when you fall to the hells are many, many, many fold compared to that, and how scary it is. Okay, what about animal realms? The suffering animal realm is that they are abused by us on the food chain, so we abuse them, and we keep on abusing them, like we beat up on a mule or an ox is used to turn the grinding stone in the temple. Day after day after day, and they work, and we beat them. Cha, cha. And that's what happens to them their entire life. Okay, that's suffering. And not only one life, but many, many lives like that. The nature of suffering in these three realms. Animal realm, you have to be frightened of it. Animal realms, in the hungry ghost realm, and the health realms. Give an example of the health. You fall to one hell. Let's say anyone lies, innocent lies. Right, what's the big deal, right? Look at all the Koreans, they're all sleeping. It's okay, it's okay. You fall to the hells eventually. When you go there, you will suffer so much, because if you lie, you lied, right? You lied too, right? Yeah. You lie. You plant the seeds. I'm talking about you personally. You plant the seeds to fall later down the road after you die to the hells. One of these days, where you fall to the hells, where it's designed only for the people who lie. There are many different types of hells for people who lie. Okay? One type of hell is not described in the book, so I just created one for you, for these people here. Only, there's two here. It's kind of lie when you lie, okay? You fall to the hells and they pull your tongue out, okay? Okay, and take a knife and they chop it. And they use a Japanese sushi knife. It's so thin. You like sushi, don't you? Okay? That's the one type of hell you're going to have for lying. I'm not lying to you. Okay? And then for some other people, like some people on this side here, who often lie, okay, innocent lie, yeah, honey, I love you. You're the best thing that happened to me. Okay? You fall to the hells where after you die, You fall in this hell where the hell, where they take a hook, they hook it through your, and let me use the right finger, hook it through your tongue and hang you there. Okay? And your tongue, when you're born in the hell, that the tongue is pretty strong. So it's not like right now, you hook at your tongue, you fall right down, right? No, sir, that's too fast. Over there in the hell, you fall slowly, bit by bit, just like that thin slice of the sushi thing. Same thing, you pull down a little bit. So it's this constant torture. And for you right now, for chúng này, I can take that, I take that. No, doesn't matter who you are. You fall there, even these people, you fall there. It's for them right now, it doesn't sound too bad because I can enter samadhi, I'm not scared, okay? But are you paying attention? When they fall to the hells, it is so unbearable. Whatever you suffer right now, to you suffering right now, it's multiplied 1,000,000 times more unbearable. This is the state of the existence of life in hell. Yes, sir. No, today.
Master, I make documentaries, and the most common thing I come across with all my interviews, from homeless people to theoretical physicists to mafia people, is that they all lie. But the most common lie is the lie that we tell ourselves. Do those count in terms of what takes us to the hells? The lie that we tell ourselves?
The lies you tell yourself, you don't fall to the hells. You fall to the animal realm. Because when you lie to yourself, you just simply are stupid. The last thing you want to do is to lie to yourself. At least lie to others. It pays. Lie to yourself doesn't pay. That's so stupid. Okay? Stop it. Go scam someone. Like Republicans. Yes, Green.
Master, something I read on the internet last year about a cold hell, and you're in a cold hell for kalpas, as long as you can put something inside of a barrel, like a BB inside a barrel, until it gets full, and that's how long the person is in the ice cold hell.
Yeah.
Is that true?
Yes, the hells. I hate to break this to you. The hells, there are endless types of hells. Actually, what you don't know, Gerard, is there are hells specifically designed just for you. Not for you individually, but each and every one of you have a hell waiting. Seriously. Each and every one of us, me included, has a hell that's being built and waiting for us to go down. And yes. What happened to the handheld microphone? Yeah.
Master, aren't we going to the Pure Land?
We hope to, but I could have lied to you. I told you already. I told you I lied too. What do you want from me? Oh no. Oh, damn. Okay? So the point here is that everyone in this Saha world, doesn't matter who you are, okay? It's very easy to fall to the hells if you're not careful. That's the point. Because there's a hell waiting. Don't think that, oops, it's not built yet. No, ma'am. It's built already. It's waiting for you. So don't say that, it's like I'm trying to move but my house is not ready, so I'm going to wait. Can I go rent an apartment and wait for my house to be finished? No, the house is ready already. It's right there. No excuses. We just say, can I wait? Can I first go to Vietnam and visit my relative? No. You, as soon as your time is up, boom, you go down the house right there. So it's there, waiting for us. And we're there and waiting for us. We could go to the Pure Land, and guess what happens? Like, you remember Danny, boy, brother? Okay? He's going to the house. But Amitabha decided to bring him back first. So the hell was ready for him. Okay? But he lucked out. He went to the Pure Land, but the hell was still there. So the next time he comes back to try to save his sister and his parents again, and we're not going to be around, he's going to fall into those hells. They're there. You don't believe? It's the hells are created in accordance with the offenses you are committing right now. Whether you're going to go or go when you're going to go there is irrelevant. As soon as you commit these offenses, it's being created. Isn't that wonderful that we have a place to go to? All of us. Okay? So, what I need to stress for you is that you just like, for example, right now you take a knife, you cut your fingers, you say, oh, it hurts, right? But the pain there is, the pain you're experiencing right now, or the same cut there in the house, is just a million times more painful. So whatever you don't like right now is much worse down there. All right? That's why it's called hell. This is not stress to you. They said, they have the tongue, the hell for the hook tongue, the tongue hook that you hang people who lie. Actually, they fail to tell you that the pain there of having something hooked through your tongue is excruciatingly so painful, a lot more than we are experiencing here. It's how scary. That's why it's very, very scary. The Dao Bu here is very frightful. It's very frightening. Okay? If you can only, and all these terrors, okay, they will be completely dispelled if you look at one iota of the Buddha's merit and virtue. Isn't that cool? I don't know how true it is. I haven't seen it yet, but that's what he says. This guy sees it. Yes, Red.
Thank you, Master. We have two questions.
Yes.
Diego asks, he says, Emitofuo, Master, if we all are part of the Dharma body of the Buddha, does it mean that whatever merit and virtue we accrue, it's all part of the Buddha's unsurpassed merit and virtue?
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's, we only a part of it. We're not the whole part, the whole thing.
Okay.
That's why we're suffering. Okay, next.
The next is from Samson Lau.
Mm-hmm.
Emitofuo, Master, I thought if we make it to the Pure Land, Amitabha Buddha will only send us back if we can make it back to the Pure Land. Is there still a risk of falling to the hells when we're going back there?
Could happen. I can't speak for Amitabha Buddha. Sometimes he's sleepy and say, I'm sleepy today, so he sorts of forget about you a little bit. It could happen. What do you think? The Buddha works for you, he owns you, or you own him? You see? So it could happen. So that's why it's a lot safer for you to go to the Pure Land. Okay? But if he sends you back, like he sent Danny back here, you know that? Hey, Xin, you believe that? That your late brother was sent from a Pure Land back here to try to save your parents. Not save you, try to save your parents. Because that's his vow in a prior life. Okay? So he took care of his parents and he vowed to bring his parents to the Pure Land. The sister did not make that vow. It's the brother who made the vow. That's why, you know, in Asian families, sons are better than daughters. There's a reason for it. Okay? Anyway, so he vowed to save his father. I'm telling you all these tips because it's happening. That's why I tell you this story is based on a true story. Or maybe a novel in the Pure Land. I don't know. Okay? But the point is that he made a vow to save his dad and his mom. So he came. Okay? I don't know what the sister came here for. I have no idea. But, but the brother came here to save the dad and the mom. Okay? So you see, the end result is that he saved his dad already and he made them feel very comfortable. He spent his entire life sticking around. When the sister went away, he stuck around. So it tells you clearly that he's there to take care of the parents, okay, to make sure they're okay. And he got, pay for the house before he died and all those things, And the sister, I don't know what the sister's doing. Again, girls do girl things. We don't know, okay? But, what, do you feel bad now? No, you disagree. Of course you disagree. Okay, so he took care of things, and then of the father already, and then the mother is also set. Okay, she doesn't know. She thinks she's going to be with God. Good luck. Her future has been predetermined. So that's why she can do whatever she wants right now. We don't care. Okay. So after he's done with that, his mission, okay, then he started goofing off. Fell in love with a girl, and she rejected him. He said, "No, I don't like you." Yeah. Not true story. Hollywood version. It's close enough. Don't worry. Don't ignore her. The sister doesn't know anything. I know more. And so he was getting confused. And he was that close to falling to the house. And yet he didn't fall. Because Amitabha Buddha was awake, that's all. Yes, what's your version, ma'am? It's okay. Yes, Red.
Thank you, Master. We have a question here from Tui. Master, if our offenses build our hells, does that mean there are other worlds that are built from our merit and virtues as well?
Yes, absolutely. Good question. Now I told you the bad news. Can I tell you the good news? The good news too. When you do good deeds, especially you right there, there's the women on this side, okay? The men, don't forget, take a break. The women on this side, okay? They're doing good deeds here, except for the Sunims, yeah. They are doing good deeds here, okay? What happened is that the opposite of the hells are the heavens. The heavens, not the heavens, but the palaces are being finalized for them. So these women, for example, these women here, okay? After they die, there's a palace waiting for them. And each palace has 1,000 beautiful girls waiting for them. Why? What? Yeah, beautiful girls. No. Don't worry. No. Don't worry. Let me finish. You become a man. The women are so scared. No. So after, because of all the good deeds, okay, they'll be born as a god, not a goddess. Because gods have more blessings than goddesses, by the way, up there. Okay? Because they're superior blessings, they'll be born a god. Sorry, you want to become a goddess? Not possible. Okay? You'll be born as a god. And then a god has a lot of wives. That's why they're born up there. Jung. Yeah. What do you mean? The more the merrier. Haven't you heard? No, it's called heavenly blessings. It's true. It's true. They have a lot of blessings that's going to spread out to many wives. Only here can you find such details that's not in the scriptures. All right. So that's why. So Thu's question is very, very perceptive. If the hells, the bad places are being created for us because our offenses, bad offenses, then good offenses also are creating heavenly palaces. And guess what else? And these women will be happier. Your Pure Land, your rebirth blessings that you're creating, like this morning you chanted, Ami. You praise, we chanted the praise right there in the morning. When you did that, your palace in the Pure Land right now now has an addition. It's slightly bigger. So every time we create rebirth blessings, we have more rebirth blessings, actually our palace get bigger and bigger and bigger. Our lotus gets bigger and bigger and bigger. So when the Buddha comes to bring you back, he will bring that lotus there to you, okay? It could be different colors. Yours is black, mine is gold. I like gold. No, it's no pink, it's only red. Anyway, the Buddha will bring, each one of us has a lotus flower, by the way. Each one of us, each one of you, well, except for the Sunnis. Okay? We all have a lotus days. Yes, all of us. Each one is different. So when it's our time to go, the Buddha will bring that lotus days to us. Okay? And then we step on it and then send right back. Yes, Francis. Home? I don't see him. Go ahead, home.
Master, is there any palace that create for LGBTQ where there's a lot of men there?
Okay. LGBTQ palaces are in pink. Okay, anyone else? Yes, sir, of course. Of course you have a question.
Okay, you're going to get a little mad at me because I'll get slightly intellectual. All of these details are so concrete, but when I imagine what's beyond this, it's beyond my imagination.
Yeah.
So it almost conflicts when we have such concrete details of what's unimaginable.
It gets better. Because your level will get better and better and better. It's gold. But when you have a higher grade level, higher grade of samadhis, higher level of blessings, the gold is actually more refined and more and more and more. It's still gold. So I describe gold, but actually different grades of gold. Okay? And diamonds. This one's only diamonds. Diamonds very cheap in the Pure Land. We only do gold. Okay, moving on. Within quiescent dharmas, great spiritual powers respond to the minds of all beings everywhere.
即灭法中大神通，普应群星迷不周。
Interesting. 715 commentary. Within quiescent dharmas, great spiritual powers. Okay? Quiescent, 即灭, 寂灭. Okay? Okay. This is childish explanation for babies. Okay? It's okay. Read it. It's okay. Okay? But 即灭法中大神通 it's not what it sounds like. This is for my generation. Your generation is better than that. Read it. Let me give you 5 minutes. Done? Are you done? Okay? Let me explain to you. Okay? My version. Let me finish and let me read first. Give me a minute. Okay. What this celestial king sees is that the Buddha sits there in meditation. That's 寂灭. The Buddha is always 寂灭. Okay? Meaning the Buddha is always in still extinction. That's a Buddha state. Got that? See, Master Hsu's explanation is for his pale-faced disciples. We are not like that. Okay? I'm going to teach you the yellow-faced version or the advanced pale-faced version. Okay? To include everyone. So, the Buddha is in the Shrangama Samadhi. The 寂灭 is that he's in the Samadhi. Okay? And within the Samadhi, he's in this profound stillness, okay, of his nirvana, okay, that he exhibit great spiritual powers. That's what he sees the Buddha doing. That's why he's a Mahasattva. This explanation is for babies. Okay? Respond to the minds of all beings everywhere. You want to read it and I explain to you what it really means? Done? Are you done? Chung is it hurts. That's it. That's it. Don't think that you're not registering anything. Actually, it goes through the ears, and the mind is complaining, but still goes through the ears, and that seat there is extremely high quality. We don't need you to understand. Your understanding is not that important. Okay? Anyway, so in the midst of his samadhi, the Buddha's uses his spiritual powers, and he goes everywhere in the entire universe. Got that? Hello. 안녕하세요. Okay. All doubts and delusions are severed. This is the attainment of King Bright Light.
所有疑惑皆令断，此光明王之所得。
I let you read it. Today, for some reason, I don't want to explain it his way. Got it? And so he sits there, you remember? He sits there in samadhi, and he sees living beings. He said, oh, that guy there, okay, in Lu Mountain Temple needs help. So let's go there and help him. So what does he do? He goes to Lu Mountain Temple Buddha Hall and sits on someone's legs, and it hurts more. Yeah, okay. So he responds because this guy needs to be punished. Okay, so the Buddha, depending on what we need, what's best for us, he would, in his samadhi, he knows that it's time to save this person, that person. Okay? And so he would use his spiritual power to come and do whatever it takes to help living beings, okay? Each living being, by the way, okay? Believe me, Buddha is very, very specific. He says, you. It's one, each one, the response is different. The manifestation is different. You may be saying the same thing, but the manifestation is very custom tailored to all of us. Okay? In order, when you do that, then all doubts and delusions are severed. You see, when you listen to the monks speak or the nuns speak Dharma, you have a lot of doubts, right? You say, I don't know how true it is. I don't know. It doesn't sound like what I heard before. How come the other Dharma masters speak, and you are always joking, and this guy is always joking, and so forth. Okay, you have a lot of doubt. Okay, whereas Buddha sees that when he manifests his spiritual powers, part of the use of his manifestation of his powers is to help us cast out doubts. Okay, no doubts. You see how important it is. If you have doubts, boy, are you in trouble? Because Buddha's role is always to help you. They don't help themselves. You want to become a Buddha, folks, you have to learn to help others, not help yourself. That's the only way. Okay? So he resolves, because he knows that we have a lot of doubts. So it tells you your level. Depending where you are, you get to level of Buddha, no doubts. Mahasattvas, no doubts. When you have doubts, that's because you're low level. So the Buddha has to manifest his spiritual powers to resolve our doubts and dispel our confusion. Yes, Red.
Thank you, Master. There's a question here from Snow Wu.
Yes.
Hello,
From
Master.
Toronto.
Toronto.
You know, Toronto has a lot of great restaurants. More so than Los Angeles. Yeah, Michelin.
Okay.
Yeah, I never buy.
Hello, Master. For Amitabha Buddha to make a decision on if a person can go to Pure Land, which matters more, belief or merits and virtue? Thank you.
You keep on asking questions about the Pure Land. I have nothing left to talk about when we have Pure Land Dharma assembly. I have nothing else to talk about. My God, can we save this for? So what was the question again? You're abusing me. You know that? No one ever asked Master YongHua about the Pure Land, even when he was talking about the Pure Land. No one really asked that much. You were asking me left and right every single week, every single weekend. It's called GKA abuse. Go ahead.
She asks, for Amitabha Buddha to make a decision on if a person can go to Pure Land, which matters more, belief or merits and virtue?
Can we talk? Okay. When you have merit and virtue, okay, we have to be specific. Merit and virtue for the Pure Land, or merit and virtue for the Saha world, or for somewhere else. Okay, what she's referring to is merit and virtue for the Pure Land. Yeah? Okay, so merit and virtue for Pure Land, those are excellent questions. I don't know why they didn't ask Master YongHua. This is not fair. And if we ask me questions, I have to make it up. You willing to listen to my snake oil salesman's pitch? Yes. I was hoping for no. Merit and virtue for the Pure Land. We talk about it's very specific. Okay, this Pure Land, that Pure Land is different. Sour is different. But let's say you all are striving, like Snow Wu, she's striving to go to Pure Land. Understandable. That's the best place possible for you, the easiest one for you to get to. Bar none. There's lots of Pure Land, but for our world, Western Bliss Pure Land is one of the easiest to get to because of our, our connection here. Actually, I mean, Shakyamuni Buddha is sort of like, hey, buddy, can you help my people? Okay? Anyway. So merit and virtue for the Pure Land there determines your level. Your rebirth grade level. This is what the Vietnam people don't know. Okay? No, see, they don't know. They say in Vietnam, go for people. That's what Vietnam people are. They say, no, they don't know. Okay, the Vietnam people, the China people, they are not taught this. I spell it out for all of you. Merit and virtue for the rebirth, merit and virtue determines your level of rebirth, your level, or your rebirth grade, number one. Okay? Let me stop at number one, do number one, and I'm not going to go to number two, because if you don't ask me about number two, I'm not going to tell you. I'm going to save some for the future. Okay, so let's talk about number one only. Okay, it gives you rebirth grade. Okay, So that's why when you practice the Pure Land here, and the people are, I taught these poor old, the Vietnam people, they say, just recite the Buddha's name and just pray to God that you go to the Pure Land, and you just do anything to go to the Pure Land. That's nonsense. Because you do anything, meaning are you willing to go to Pure Land jail? That's my answer to such teaching. If I'm willing to do anything to go to Pure Land, yeah? So does it mean you're willing, you prepare, you are happy you were to go to Pure Land jail? Would you? Answer is of course not, right? It's jail, but still could be better, right? So that's why the rebirth rate is very important. What you're doing right now determines your rebirth rate. If you don't cultivate, then your rebirth rate tends to be lower than those who cultivate. Common sense. You have more merit and virtue for the Pure Land, then you have more blessings for the Pure Land, therefore your rebirth rate will be higher. Common sense. Yeah? So the name of the game is to have more and more rebirth rate. Okay? In addition to going there. You have to go there, but you want to go there at a good place, like Bodhi Light International Country. That's a very nice place. Okay? It has a tiny portion of Guan Yin jail, but I sent some, I did send some to the Guan Yin jail. Yeah. The people I don't like, I send them there. I promise you that, I help you get there, because feeling, but I... Okay, but if you have rebirth rate, I can't do that. This is why you're free from me. See, Buddha doesn't trust me. This guy is too temperamental. Some days he's in a good mood, some days in a bad mood. I can't trust him. Sangwook, do you get it? She doesn't find this funny at all. Anyway, so rebirth rate is you. Can't touch it. Okay? So that's why what you do right now affects your rebirth rate. So you should find more and do more and more and more and more. That's smart. Don't be like the Vietnam, Chinese people, Korean people. I just want to go there. I just want to go there. I'm very picky. I go there. It's like I just want to go to a restaurant. Are you crazy? There's some restaurants I would not go to. Absolutely not. Right? Same thing. There's some place in the Pure Land I would never go. Not me. Like Guan Yin Palace. I love Guan Yin, but my God. All right? So, merit and virtue determines your rebirth rate. So I answer the second part of the question. What's the first part? Red one.
Let's see. Which matters more, belief or merit and virtue?
Okay. Belief. Which one is more important? Belief, merit, and virtue. Okay. They really are not necessarily connected, but you need to have belief or faith in order to attain rebirth to the Pure Land. And so one part is you need to have adequate faith, and the other is once you get there, merit and virtue will determine your rebirth rate, among other things. Does it help? Okay, very good. So you see, the Buddha has sit in a samadhi, he said, okay, it's time for me to help this person. And so he manifests his spiritual powers, whatever he does. Okay, he has so many spiritual powers that they are designed to cast out doubts and delusions. So for example, this is specific. For example, Amitabha Buddha. Okay, once he hears, oh, that man there, he's coming. Okay, he's coming. He's on the list. He's on the list. Okay? And so, but he has also, the list says he's coming and he's be a certain grade, rebirth grade. That's a list. The list has two parts. I'm coming and this will be my grade. If the sky falls on us today, okay, it will be my rebirth grade. Okay? So that's the two aspects on that list. The name and rebirth grade. Okay? All right? But sometimes, okay, your level of doubts, okay, even though you're on that list, you still have doubts, okay? Sometimes your doubts gets in the way. So the Buddha, Amitabha Buddha says, you know, it turns out that even though the list is the current parameters on the list is this, but because of their devotion and the recent happening, actually their merit and virtue is higher than on the list. Okay, so Buddha, Amitabha Buddha might manifest something to diminish your doubt. So this is always a little bit slightly off, but then he will adapt. I don't know if that makes sense. It's very detailed. Is it too detailed for you? It's very, very, very specific, very, very scientific. It's not arbitrary at all. It's very, very, very accurate. All right? What happened? No more pain? Oh, did you unbuckle? You didn't unbuckle and now you're normal? Ungrateful person. No, I don't know. Anyway, he was doing like this, yesterday and this morning. And I thought he was responding to my Dharma talks. For the last month or so, every time he comes and he listens in Go Force, DTT, WMT or here, he's like, I was joking. You in here, I had to see it every single time. And I said, what is he trying to tell me? I thought everyone else was joking except him. I was laughing. That's another form of GKA abuse. It's distracting, let me tell you. See? Broke through, congratulations. You know what it means, don't you? You feel peaceful, right? You don't have to meditate. Don't even have to laugh at my jokes. Okay, I don't feel like talking to you anymore today. This is a new section. I'm too tired looking at you. For a month now, you know that? The last month has been so intense. It's just so distracting. Thank you, everyone. Okay. I tell you, you think that, oh, you're doing a lecture here and you see these people, this is why you should encourage them, do whatever it takes to do not let them stop, because that's what happens. If those you say, I can't meditate, that's meditation right there. It's proof to you that our Chan is a lot more multidimensional than just sitting. Okay? Thank you.